Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while without a video and now we are back. So today we shall be looking at the secrets of a grandmaster's mind. The game I'm going to show you has a 2700 rating performance. Every puzzle in it is outstanding. This is a game between emojong Elijah, a malt chess Olympian, versus Gohil, a malt national champion and Olympian from Kenya. So I've chosen this game as a case study for this topic, the secrets of a grandmaster's mind, with a reason. So about Emojong Elijah, he's a Ugandan chess player. FIDE awarded him the title of international master at age of 20 years, which was not easy by then in African chess. This was due to his splendid performance at the Zonal 4.2 Africa Championship that was held in Cairo, Egypt 2013. Emojong finished the zonal event in the second position with 7.5 points out of 9 and half a point behind the winner, Egypt's Sami Shoka, who had 8 points. Emojong won 7 games, drew 1 and lost 1 against a formidable force of highly rated international masters and FIDE masters, as you can see here. So let me show you the awarding ceremony of this event. So you can see Sami Shoka with his trophy there, Emojong there with his silver medal, trying to talk to some of the officials during the awarding ceremony. About Gohil, aka the bad boy of Kenyan chess, he's a third generation Kenyan with an Indian origin. He was born in 1981 in a family where he was the only chess player. He's an aggressive and technical player. In 2019, he won the Kenyan National Chess Championship and he won a Marzaka. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for rock and roll. In the white pieces is Emojong Elijah, and the black pieces is the bad boy of Kenyan chess, Gohil. Emojong began the game with e4 and Mehul played knight f6, my favorite opening, the Alpine defense. Then he played e5, and after knight d5, the move which is highly recommended by the engine is pawn d4, but Emojong played knight c3. Now the essence of this move is that in case black goes ahead and plays knight takes knight on c3, then pawn takes knight on c3, it means white will have a lot of pieces which will be easy to develop and play. Unlike black, all the pieces are going to be at their initial squares, as we are going to see in the game. Knight takes c3, and after pawn takes c3, you can see that white's pieces can be easily developed. And if you look at black, all the pieces of black are at their initial squares. So it means at least white has a slight advantage out of the opening. Mehul played d6, continuing with the line, played knight f3. Black has a variety of choices to pick on. For example, knight on c6, pawn on e6, even playing g6 in order to fianchetto the bishop to be put on g7. But in case black goes ahead and plays bishop g4, this is a blunder, because after bishop g4, h3 is played, and after bishop takes f3, queen takes f3. Now if you look at this queen, it is attacking the pawn which is on b7, at the same time planning to bring the bishop on c4, aim for the pawn which is on f7. That's why after c6, defending the pawn on b7, then bishop e3, just planning to go ahead and go for long castling. D takes e5, then bishop c4. So now you see that the bishop and the queen are coordinating to take the pawn on f7, and in case black plays e6, white can begin playing like Tal. Bishop takes e6, and after f takes e6, queen h5. In this position, there are a variety of moves which black can pick on, and I can tell you black will be busted in this position. For example, if black plays pawn g6 to stop the check, then queen takes pawn on e5 is very dangerous, because now it's attacking the rook and also aiming to take the pawn which is on e6. In the case of rook comes to g8, then queen takes pawn on e6, checking the king and also planning to take the rook which is on g8. Let's go back. However, after queen h5, in case black plays king comes to e7, then bishop g5 check wins the queen and wins the game on the spot. Let's go back. In case of black plays king comes to d7, then white can play long castling, checking the king, and in case of bishop comes to d6 to block the check, then rook takes bishop d6, and after king takes d6, then rook d1 check, and when the king moves away, for example king comes to c7, then the rook can go ahead to win the queen. So it means black loses the game on the spot. Just after knight f3, g6, trying to fianchetto and put the bishop on g7. Bishop c4 from emojong. You see, these masters, there is a way they look at piece development. There is a way they look at the game in a way which is so interesting. Now you see that he has developed a bishop. He's ready to castle. He's ready to play knight g5. He's ready to play queen on f3. He's ready to play bishop. These are some of the secrets of the grandmasters in games. So after bishop c4, Mehul continued with this game. He played bishop g7, knight g5, sacrificing the pawn which is on e5, but attacking the pawn which is on f7. And Mehul played e6. So he is defending the pawn which is on f7, at the same time trying to put an eye on the knight which is on g5, and also plan to go for a short castling. Queen f3, fantastic move. The queen is attacking the pawn on f7, at the same time also putting an eye on the pawn which is on b7. If black goes ahead for short castling, then queen h3, now attacking the pawn which is on h7. So after h6, then knight f3. Now you see that this bishop and the queen are all focusing on the pawn which is on h6. After king h7, defending the pawn, bishop g5, attacking the queen. After queen e8, then long castling. White has a slight advantage in the position. That's why after queen f3, Mehul tried queen e7. Thought for a few minutes, and then he played knight e4, sacrificing the pawn which is on e5 for the great initiative. If black tries pawn d5 in order to try to fork the pieces, white can play knight f6 check, and after bishop takes, pawn takes, attacking the queen. Black side has no time to win the bishop. In case of queen comes to c5, then either bishop d3 or bishop comes to b3, all can be good moves in the position, and white can go on to play the game with moves of bishop coming to h6, bishop coming in. So in this position, after knight e4, black played bishop takes e5, bishop g5. If black tries f6, knight takes f6 check. After bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6. You see how the bishop is attacking the queen at the same time attacking the rook, and I can tell you this is winning for white. Let's go back. After bishop g5, the queen can go to d7, but if it goes to d7, then knight comes in, which is very dangerous. Mehul played queen f8, bishop b5 check. After c6, played knight f6, bishop takes f6, queen takes f6. You see now there is checkmate looming on d8. At the same time, the queen is putting an eye on the rook which is on h8. Mehul tried king d7. Put yourself in the shoes of emojong Elijah. What would be the move you'd play in this position? Would you save your bishop? I played long castling, sacrificing the bishop on b5. C takes b5. Now in this position, played a move which is not easy to understand. He played pawn f4. But in a human mind, if you are being attacked and you see the king is in the center, most of the chess players will not think of taking the pawn which is on f4. They'll always think of moving the king away from the center to safety. And it's what Mehul did. Mehul played king c7, trying to move away the king from the center. And in this position, emojong played a move which is recommended by Alpha 0. You can take your time and think of the best move emojong tried to play in this position. Emojong played rook takes d6. What to do in this position? For example, If king takes d6, then bishop f4 check, and after king c6, queen e5. This is threatening to play queen on c7, and rook can come in on d1, which can be a checkmate in a few moves. Rook takes d6. In case queen takes d6, then bishop f4, pinning down the queen against the king, at the same time threatening to take the rook. Rook takes d6. Mehul tried and played knight d7. I can tell you that Emojong did hesitate to take another piece. He played rook takes d7. And after bishop takes d7, trying to develop the pieces, Emojong played bishop f4 check, sacrificing piece after piece because he's saying that there is opportunity to win this game. And you see that all the pieces of white are active, but you see the pieces of black, all of them are at their initial squares. The queen is also on the f8. It can't move away to do anything. That's why you see IM's pieces, all of them are very active. And after king c8, queen e5, threatening checkmate in one, queen d8, defending the square, which is c7, at the same time putting an eye on the rook, which is on h8. The queen is also defending the rook, which is on h8. Bishop g5, attacking the queen, at the same time threatening to play rook d1, which is very hard to proceed. Now the queen is putting an eye here. The bishop is attacking the queen. The rook is going to come and it's going to be very powerful here in this open column. And you see that the rooks are the initial squares. It means black is only playing with two pieces which are active, the queen and the bishop. So that's why in this position, Mehul tried to play queen f8, and after rook d1. Now you see that all the pieces are active in the position. He played f6 because he didn't want the bishop to fall back on f4. He played f6, trying to fork the queen and try to deviate the bishop off from this diagonal. So bishop takes f6, then attacking the rook, which is on h8. Then he played rook g8, saving the rook. In this position, this is when Emojong Elijah remember to take the pawn, which is on b5. Just imagine, the pawn has been there like for 5 moves, but it's taking the pawn right now. So pawn takes pawn on b5. And after b6, trying to get space and then activate the rook to come in the game, Emojong played queen e4, sacrificing the bishop at the same time attacking the rook. And after taking the rook, the queen can still take the rook, which is on g8. And I can tell you that black can be busted in this position. So that's why you see that Mehul tried queen h6 check. And after king b1, he played a desperate move, which is queen takes h2. Mehul thought IM was going to take the rook, which is on a8, and then he drops back the queen on b8 and everything can be well. But however, Emojong played another stronger move. That's why I tell you, masters always have resources, always have moves which they reserve for critical moments. In this position, played rook takes bishop d7, so that in this position, if the king takes the rook, then queen comes to c6 check, and this can be checkmate. Thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to give you more and interesting videos. We can promote the channel and make chess great again. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck in your games.